third one is customer division. What impact does that have on you as an individual and on your business both? Well, the answer is basically nothing, unless ask Target, ask who's some of the companies over the last couple of years you've heard big names of where situations have taken place. Right? What happens now is if your business is shown to be the source or the responsibility of where that breach took place. That's that trust I opened with. It's gone. One recent survey that I read showed that 86% of people said they would drop a business like a hot potato in doing business with them if they felt their information was compromised. They would drop them right now. Now, think from yourself. If you were dealing with a store and all of a sudden you didn't trust them anymore, would you go back? No. So actually, I think the 86% is very mild. I think it's far more than that. Right? So what it boils down to is this. Everyone involved in your business deserves and wants to feel secure. With the businesses that you do have, think of yourself this way. Think of yourself, knowing what you know about how you keep your information about your customers and all your basis of your business, how you keep that information. If you were the customer of your business, knowing how that stuff is stored, would you feel safe, secure, and satisfied? If your answer is yes, and that's not an ego answer, terrific. If your answer is not so sure, then you need to go do some process checking right away and make sure you make those changes. Okay? Because what happens is here, I love this. I love basing a lot of this on old Master Yoda. You know, you must unlearn what you have already learned. There's a lot of wisdom in this. This is the whole talk right here. We can close the slide and go home with this. Okay, you must unlearn what you have already learned. Reckless are you. Mind what you have learned from me. Save you it can. You know, everybody's familiar with Yoda, right? Okay? And basically what this boils down to is there's three enemies. There's three enemies to identity theft, loss, prevention, and all of this. You know, Roger, alluded to some of this at the start. You know, the three enemies are simply this: ego, ignorance, and apathy. Oh, it can't happen to me. I'm careful. I don't need to know this stuff. It's never going to affect me. Ryan used to look for guys that ran businesses like that because what that meant was they weren't paying attention to that. That meant the barn doors open, usually quite wide. Right? So as soon as that apathy and ignorance, the apathy and the ego kicks in, ignorance just kind of follows behind. And that makes you literally a target. So many people in business falsely believe that their information entrusted to them is safe. Again, it's the same thing. I'm wanting to set that thought in pretty deep. We think everything is fine. Then all of a sudden it's, oh gosh, look what happened. What are they going to do about it? Well, again, my question, who is they? Right? It's all about the reputation and trust, and that's where I started right when we came in here. It's all about maintaining the reputation that you have based on the entrusted reputations and trust and all of that you've gained over the time of putting that together. It's literally what it's all about. Here's some stats for you. 97%, now this is really not going to apply to most of you because you don't have employees, but 97% of Canadian businesses are victims of employee theft. Only 10% find out, and of that, only 96% are never prosecuted. Right? So only 3 or 4 are actually prosecuted. See, because the thing is, there's no stats to this. There's no backup to this because nobody really pays attention to it. Now, don't forget, only 10% ever find out. So, that's 90% is literally unknown. So where do I get this information? From the guys that are the perpetrators. They know what's going on. Okay? So you know, this is primarily for Bob, you know, and hey, here's you just had to go out of the room for a second, but hey, I've always found one thing. So what I'm looking at here is the idea that the technology, and this is the part I was saying with Bob having to step out, I've always found whenever I had to leave a room for a moment, the one piece that I needed to hear was what what was said at that moment, right? You've probably experienced that. And it's a fact of life. And so, but what I'm showing here is this ever-growing use of technology is either your friend or your enemy, depending on how you work it.